How to clean your home stress-free. We are going to start cleaning like a minimalist without becoming a full-blown minimalist. I know that that word scares many of you. Don't think of it like that. We are going to talk deep into getting rid of certain words that's going to help you really adopt a life full of stress-free living. And that includes and starts with your cleaning routines. You are going to tap into a simple house cleaning routine that allows you to appreciate the task rather than avoiding it. I know this word also scares many of you, but I want you to think of it as something healthy, something brand new, something vibrant. If you need to replace this word decluttering with something else that maybe gets you in the mood for cleaning and getting rid of all of the things that you no longer want. So, what I want you to do is start doing that 30-day habit. And what I did in the beginning was I just simply opened my kitchen cabinet doors and I started looking at what I had. So you're going to really want to visualize the stuff that you have. So open those spaces, open those drawers every single day, even if you don't let go of anything. Just look in there and see what you want to have it look like. What does it feel like when you open it? Do you open a drawer in the bathroom and it feels overwhelming? Oh, I have way too much stuff in here. So get into the habit of opening those drawers, opening the dresser drawers, opening the closet doors more often throughout the month. Okay. You're gonna adopt the minimalist mindset when you do this. So you're gonna be looking in your cabinets and you're gonna be like, whoa, I have way too many mugs. And then you're going to start pulling. Okay, each day over the next 30 days, you're going to do the same little habits. You don't have to do anything stressful. Decluttering is not a stressful event. Okay, I want you to get into the habit of thinking, well, I can get rid of a little bit here and there. And that's what we're all about. We're all about preventing the overwhelm. So if you're stepping into that kitchen space and looking in the cabinets and pulling one or two items, and that's too much for you for the entire day, you stop. You stop and then you start again tomorrow and you revisit that space. You open it again and think about what you want that space to look like, okay? So you're going to get rid of what you absolutely do not need. Listen, if you think that you're going to need it 2 years from now, don't get rid of it. You set that aside and you start, saving and storing the stuff that you might need in a different space. So, what I did in my kitchen was I combined all the stuff that I only use once a year at the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, I put those pots, those, big pots and those whisk and all those, spatula things that I never use throughout the year in one area of the kitchen. So I have a cabinet space below where I tuck those in and I just put those things inside a big pot and then I tuck them aside. And then I put, like the crock pot inside the pantry and tuck it back because I'm never going to really use it. All right. So there's little things that you're going to learn over time that is going to help you, but you are going to get into the habit of getting rid of absolutely things that you do not need. Say you go into the drawer and you see these plastic, old, dingy, nasty spatulas or utensils, and you just want to get rid of them. That doesn't align with the minimalist mindset that you are creating. You really want to create an aesthetic in your kitchen, your bathroom, your home that you enjoy. Okay, this is all about you creating and crafting those little habits, getting into the mindset of feeling like it's okay to let this go. I don't think about how many uses you can get out of something. If you don't like that item, get rid of it. I used to throw forks away because they were just caked with food on it. And like, I was like, okay, I'm not going to wash that. I'm just going to throw it away. I'll buy a new fork. I know that it sounds very crazy to some people because they want to save the earth, but you can't think like that. Okay. So if you think that you can get rid of something and get something, replace it with something better, aesthetically pleasing to you, do that. That is for you. Your home is for you to create. It's all about how it makes you feel. So if you open that drawer and you look in the bathroom and you say, there's way too many beauty products, I don't even use half of these, I'm going to slowly start throwing them away. Don't think about how much product is in that bottle. It's about you just getting rid of it because you're never going to use it. There's a lot of shampoo bottles that I found that didn't, help my hair, and I've wasted a lot of money on those things. Don't think about how much money you wasted or you spent on it, because the money's already gone. So we're just getting into the habit of kind of, retraining our brain as we did in the minimalist mindset lesson. You have 30 days to create the habit. I want you to go through and just look at everything. Keep on doing it every single day. Pull a little bit here, pull a little bit there, like just go through your whole house in like 10, 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be daunting or, an extreme task or a decluttering challenge. It just has to be something that you get yourself in the mood for doing. And just the more that you open things and the more that you look at things, you're going to start visualizing what you want that space to look like and start pulling. Small things make a big difference. That's what I'm all about. Just do little things here and there because we're creating a lifestyle. This is not, a cleaning chore list. It is a lifestyle. So remove the toxic stuff. And what I mean by this is the heavy curtains, the furniture, the headboards that are attracting dust. This is really going to help you clean better. This is going to help your health, your overall wellness. You are going to start seeing a dramatic change in the way that you clean things. Okay. So I used to have furniture, big, nasty, bulky furniture, old antiques. They tend to, attract more dust, or big bulky furniture, or, like those headboards that are upholstered, and instead maybe think about maybe not having a headboard if you don't need one, or getting something that's wood or easy to clean, something that doesn't attract a lot of dust. I know this might seem like, it's something that a lot of people don't want to do because they've already invested the money into that. But for me, I had a headboard, an upholstered headboard, and it attracted a lot of dust. It even attracted mold at one point. So I had to detach from that, get rid of the things that attract dust and mold, because mold is a toxin and dust is a toxin. So dust, is I'll leave a list below, but it's it's a bad thing where it has all these dust mites and it attracts like um even fire. It could attract a fire in your home. So we want to think about those things that have all of these toxins in it, and furniture is a big one. So if you're not familiar with furniture toxins, go ahead and Google it. It is really something that's powerful. And so I've just gotten rid of all my curtains because I think curtains collect a lot of dust, and I was not breathing well in my home. And now, if you can even adopt or get into the habit of getting, your mindset where what is toxic in my home. Changing the filters is a big one throughout the month. A lot of people forget, to do that. But think about the furniture in your home. What is toxic? Excess products under your cabinets. Those are all toxic. I guarantee you'll go in the kitchen or the bathroom and you'll see all kinds of products with toxins and chemicals in them. So you want to get rid of those slowly, bit by bit. It took me a long time to really clear out my kitchen, under the kitchen cupboard. I started there when I did my toxic free journey, and then the bathroom. Okay. And then clothing is a big one. So we want to keep on going through all those clothing items and the linens and see, if it's not organic cotton, if it's polyester, if it's rayon, nylon, all those are toxins. So we kind of just want to get into the mindset of that toxic free lifestyle and do your decluttering routines. Very simple and stress free. You don't have to go full blown challenge unless you want to. If you want to do an intense challenge, we've got those in the challenging section, and you are free to do that. So the decluttering and the ditching the tax, those tie beautifully together to help you establish a beautiful and stress-free cleaning routine. Okay. Your floors don't need to be washed as much. I'll say this time and time again, because a lot of people in the community want to wash their floors every single day. If you do that, you're just ruining the surface. You don't have to. And they don't need any products. You can wash your floors, with a little bit of vinegar in it if you, want to clean once or twice a month. You don't need a lot of vinegar. Just water it down with cold water is best for wood floors. I like to use hot water on ceramic tile floors. So it depends on what floor you have, but you'll learn that as you go along. Like I ditched cleaning the floors a long time ago. I spot clean only now, and that'll be my next tip on the next page. But this is going to be really helpful. It's going to relieve all that overwhelm and stress and anxiety because floors take up a lot. They are exhausting. You do not want to be mopping every single day. You don't even want to be mopping every week. If this is really hard for you to break free from, I want you to try to get into the habit and that mindset of just thinking. Think that, floor cleaning is really bad. It's not good for the floors, okay? So if you have that old wood floors that really just need maintenance every single month, then you can go ahead and clean those every single month. Don't worry about shining them, especially if the floor was not made to be shiny. Okay. No matter what product you use, it is never going to be shiny. You're just going to create buildup. And what those chemicals do in those products is create a ton of buildup. And then that's when you get the sticky floors. You get the footprints all over the floors. You want to avoid that. Do not start doing that. In order to remove the film, you are going to want to put a bucket of water, cool water, and then a little bit of white vinegar to get that film removed from the floor. Okay, so then you can go through and mop your floors with a microfiber mop head. You don't have to invest in steam mops. You don't have to invest in a lot of appliances for your floors, okay, mops and stuff like that. Use a simple microfiber mop head with and mop every single month. You don't even have to do it every single month, especially if you don't have a lot of people living in your home or you don't have a lot of traffic in your home. Okay, so you want to ditch the entire thought process about washing your floors. Old-fashioned products like baking soda, cast-iron soap, and water is all you need to really just clean easy breezy, okay? We are going to remove all the toxic cleaning products underneath the kitchen cabinet, underneath the bathroom. We don't need them anymore, okay? You need basic little items like soap, baking soda, a little bit of white vinegar in your home, and water. That's it. You really just need to get into the habit of thinking like that because it's the healthiest for you, your home, and your family. It's beautiful for the environment as well. So even greenwashing products are toxic. So you want to pay attention to the products on the shelves. I don't even purchase anything out of the cleaning aisle anymore. And it took me a long time to get to that point, but they are still toxic. There's chemicals in them. Okay, so if you're cleaning with seventh generation or you're cleaning with Miss Myers or you're cleaning with something that says organic natural on it, it's not. They can put whatever they want on the label. It still has toxins in them. Even some of these MLM, products that you're using, even the essential oils. I don't like really adding the essential oils into a jar or a bottle to clean with because over time it's just not necessary. Essential oils are toxic. So if you're in, a Facebook page or a group or something and you see everybody, recommending putting essential oils in to make your own homemade products, over time, you really don't need to do that. I love lemongrass. It's an all natural antimicrobial. It's an antifungal. It's really great for occasional cleaning. I don't need to clean with it all the time because personally, I just don't like any smells in my home. I like my home to smell fresh, just clean, like nothing. And when you get more into the habit of doing all these things, you're going to really appreciate that smell. When you come home, you don't smell anything. I don't want to be overwhelmed with toxins, and essential oils are toxins too. So you're just going to get into that all natural habit where it's just simple. These are the ways of life. This is the most beautiful thing about cleaning, and this is what you want to attract. You want to be able to breathe. You want to be able to live long. So we're going to get into the habit of doing that. And in the kitchen, it's the heart of the home. So focus on keeping that kitchen sink clean and clear. This is one thing that I really focused on when I started going more simple and trying to create those little things around the house that made it easier for me, stress-free. I'm the lazy gal now because I don't want to overwhelm myself with cleaning. I don't want to spend my whole entire day cleaning or thinking about it. Okay, so every day, tidy up that area of your home. And if you start in the kitchen, it's really easy to just adjust to things because you're going to declutter more in there. As the 30 days go by, you're going to start clearing out the stuff that you don't want. Okay, so each and every day, you're going to look inside those drawers and those cabinets and kind of just pull one or two things each day. Then revisit that space and think about what you want that space to look like. Do I really need that item? Why do I have that item? I mean, when am I going to use it? If I am going to use it, okay, pull it aside and tuck it somewhere else, that you're not going to need to dive into that cabinet. Like don't mix your stuff, your everyday used items with your stuff that you're only using once or twice a year. Okay. Separate those. Organize your cabinetry to be the best, most simplest. When I redid the kitchen cups, I made sure that, I just had a space for my glasses. And then I had a different separate cabinet for my mugs. And then I kept on decluttering all the mugs because I had way too many. So I would donate and donate and donate or give them away as gifts, because I was a huge mug hoarder. And we've all been there. So we all know what I'm talking about. But avoid putting dishes in the sink. Okay, this helps tremendously because the kitchen sink is not to hoard all the dishes, it is to clean the dishes. So instead of putting the pots and pans inside the sink when you're done with them, when you're done cooking with them, simply wipe them out with a tissue, like a paper towel or something, or even like, I use these washcloths from Target or Walmart. They're the really cheap ones and they don't attract, they don't get those hairs and things stuck in it like microfiber cloths do. So I'll use that to wipe it out. And I'll have these, kitchen rags that I use just to wipe the pots and pans out when you're done cooking with them because that helps you clean better. Leave it on the stove. Set it there. And if the kitchen sink is, it has a few items in it, load the dishwasher. Sometimes I'll hand wash a few items. If it's, a knife or something like that can be hand washed, wash it immediately. Okay. Don't push it off. Don't let the kitchen sink get full. There's no need for that. So when you see a knife in there, just clean it. It's very simple. Most of the time I just clean like if there's a spoon in there, I'll clean it up with my hand. I don't even need a sponge. I don't recommend sponges because they're high in bacteria. The everyday typical household sponge is really nasty. So avoid getting those. We'll talk about that in a minute. But like I said about the floors, just spot clean them. When your floors get dirty, most likely it's just going to have a bunch of crumbs on it. It might have a splatter here or there, but just vacuum or sweep more often than you mop. Okay. So instead of mopping the floors every single day or thinking that you have to, spot clean. It takes 1 second to just take a microfiber cloth, heat up the water, at least to a warm, hot temperature, and then spot clean the floor. It really is quick and easy, and it is stress-free. Don't pull out the mop every single day. Don't worry about if you dropped a little bit of coffee on the floor. You can spot clean it later. Try to get out of the habit of thinking that you have to clean it every single day. The floors do not need to be cleaned. A hot cloth for fast and easy cleaning. Like I said, dip that little microfiber cloth in water and just wipe free. You will get more into the habit of cleaning with just water. And a lot of people think that that's crazy. I need to clean the bacteria. I need to clean, I need to make sure that everything's disinfected. I get it. I was that mom. I had, two little kids running around, and guess what? They were always sick. I regret cleaning with the Clorox and the Lysol and everything that I cleaned with because I made us really, really sick. So as you get into your no tox journey and further into really cleaning very simply, you're going to appreciate and love just cleaning with water. If you need to clean, with a disinfectant or something, you can just dab a little bit of that cast iron soap, The Dr. Jacobs Castile soap, I'll talk about that in a minute, has the essential oils already built into it. So you could just dab it on and clean your counters with that. So I like to dab the soap on the counters and do a quick wash with hot water. It's very safe for the surfaces. It's going to make your kitchen last a lot longer, because if you have tile and grout and you see it breaking up, it's because there's way too much water on it or way too much chemical product on it. You're using too many chemicals in the kitchen. If you notice that your stainless steel refrigerator and appliances are, getting streaky, there's water splashes all over it and stuff like that, it could be from the chemicals that you're using. If you're not using the right products, if you really want to use product on the stainless steel, you can use Weinmann's. That is the best. But I don't want you to think that you have to clean your surfaces every single day. You don't. You can just do a quick wipe down with the hot cloth, and then you can do a little soap and water, or you can, the main thing that I want you to focus on cleaning in the kitchen is that sink. That is the one thing that is highly, bacteria is going to be in there. Soap and water, baking soda, it's wonderful. Splash the baking soda into the sink and then wipe and rinse. You can get those funky odors out of there too, out of the food disposals, by just pouring a little bit of vinegar in there, a little bit of baking soda, or even if you have some old lemons that you want to toss in there, those are really perfect. Okay. So don't think that you have to overwhelm yourself in this space. It's really simple and freeing, and I really want you to get into the habit of it and just do a quick declutter every single day. Like I said, a quick wipe down. You don't have to stress yourself out in this room. Bring in the live plants and get some fresh flowers to put in there, because this really helps your mood. It boosts and increase your motivation and your inspiration in there. So if you don't have any live house plants, those little herbs or whatever, if you have a window and you put those up there, it'll really help you get into the mood and the habit of cleaning your kitchen a little bit more, organizing it better, decluttering, and envisioning the space that you want. Okay. Like I said, store the small appliances in the cupboards below. Create a space for each little nook. So if you have the left side of the kitchen, you want that to be your coffee station, make room for those small kitchen appliances that you can tuck up, or below the cabinets, and then just make it easier. Make it flow easy. The power of castile soap. So I really, really enjoy cleaning with castile soap now. You just dab some on the sponge or even on the counter. It's not harsh at all. And then wipe and rinse. Like I just take the castile soap and I'll squirt some in the bathtub and I'll wash it out really quick. And it's wonderful because castile soap is like a vegetable based oil, and it cleans all that film so quickly. Okay, so it's really easy to clean. If you have stuck on food, you could like pour a little bit on there, let it sit for a minute, and then wipe. I don't recommend going crazy, cleaning the inside of your refrigerator out, or the inside of the stove out with it. But you can definitely use it in the bathtubs. You can you definitely use it in the sinks, and get into the habit of using it a little bit more in those spaces when you need to clean with the soap. Normally, if nobody's really using that bathtub, you're not going to need to clean it as much throughout the month. But, when you need it, it's there and it lasts a long time. It's all natural, fresh and clean smelling. You will not get overwhelmed or overpowered with the smell. It's very minimal. A little bit goes a long way. You don't need a lot of it. Trust me, it is super powerful. And then it saves money and space. Like I said, you only need one big bottle and it lasts you forever. The products we love, like I've been speaking about, white vinegar, you are going to want to clean maybe your mirrors, your glass with, I like the white vinegar rather than the alcohol. I've tried both, and white vinegar is the best. I actually forgot to put the squeegee on here. If you do have glass shower doors, a squeegee will work wonderful. But you have to do it each and every time you're done taking a shower. So if you constantly let your water build up and soap scum build up on those glass shower doors, it is going to create a ton of chaos. You don't want to do that because the shower glass doors are eventually that soap scum and water can get inside the shower glass doors. So you want to squeegee those every time you get out of the shower. Okay. And the squeegee works wonderful on certain shower floors and on the tile walls. So if you have tile in your bathroom, it also works wonderful on that. Instead of taking a towel and drying the tile, you can just take the squeegee and get most of the water off. It's just about getting that water off so it doesn't sit there and build up mold or fungi, bacteria. And then I love to use it on my mirrors for just a quick wipe down and then fast wipe downs in the fridge. So this is where I use the white vinegar in the fridge. I'll dab it on a cloth and I'll wipe down the fridge. I don't have to take all my food out. And that's another thing that you're going to want to pay attention to, decluttering your fridge and your pantry. Get rid of the foods that you're not using, that are expired. Keep being mindful of what's in there. Organize it as you're wiping the shelf space down, or if a drawer is, if there is something really stuck on there, all you need is hot water. You don't need any cleaning products in the fridge. You don't need to remove all of the items to get your fridge clean. And then you can definitely dump it down the sink, like I said, and wipe out the microwave. It's super easy breezy. That's what you're going to get into the habit of doing. And then the baking soda, I just dump, wipe, and rinse. I particularly like the baking soda in the sinks. So I really love it in the kitchen sink, and that's where I use it the most. I like to keep a bowl of that out. It just helps me to clean better. It helps absorb all the nasty odors, especially in the kitchen, and it just makes my life a lot easier. Cloths and sponges, like I said, I do not recommend buying sponges, typical household sponges in the cleaning aisle. They're really nasty. Get into the habit of buying. It took me a long time to find microfiber cloths that I really enjoyed, but what I really like about the ones, I'll share them below. I'll give you a product link, but the ones that I really like are the ones that I can wet and use as a cloth to wipe down or dust with, because it just makes dusting that much faster, and I really like cleaning my counters with it. So I'll drop the link below, because there are a lot of microfiber cloths that are get nasty. They get hairs and stuff stuck in them, and it's really hard to wash them. And I just have spent so much money on different microfiber cloths, and it's really, really annoying. But try not to get, the sponges and think that you're going to put them in the dishwasher or the microwave to get rid of the bacteria, because that just increases the bacteria. So it's like your body, like if you're giving yourself an antibiotic, you are antibiotic resistant, you're just building up all that more bacteria. And when you put that in the microwave or the dishwasher, the bacteria just grows to like the trillions, not even the millions or the billions. It's like trillions and trillions of bacteria are getting trapped inside. So it's making it worse. Don't do that. Get the scrubby brushes that I use. Just use one or two, or use a washcloth to wash your stuff. Like I said, I even sometimes just use my hands. When you get into the habit of old-fashioned cleaning, you're really going to find that it just makes it a lot more simple. Then the Dr. Jacobs is one that I recommend. It's the cast iron soap, and they do make, different products, all-in-one soaps and cleaners, if you wanted to go to their website. Or I find even Marshall's, TJ Maxx, and Home Goods sometimes has the Dr. Jacobs. I don't like Dr. Bronner's. I'm sorry, I don't. I know it's recommended a lot in the cleaning, non-toxic cleaning groups and stuff like that, but I've tried it. I don't find that it works as best as Dr. Jacobs. So that is the one that I use, and I really appreciate how they incorporate some essential oils in some of them, because it's so much easier. I don't have to do anything. It's just one bottle, one clean, stress-free. So, removing all the chemicals, like we said, in your home will save space, money, and time. Replace your old products with these simple things to craft that easy breezy routine that avoids overwhelm. Cleaning is a lifestyle, not a chore. Ditch the negativity associated with negative, thoughtful cleaning habits, okay? That's what we teach you in the other lessons. It is a powerful, powerful thing. You are going to clean like a pro, and it's going to feel really, really good. A lot of negative thoughts can be framed around the word cleaning, decluttering, even minimalism. And in order to appreciate and love the so called chores, you have to reframe the way you think about them. Stop using the word chores. I stopped a long time ago. I don't like to call them chores. I don't like to tell my kids to do their chores. I want you to replace that with household to dos. This is your lifestyle. Create it how you want. Okay, don't say the word chores. Instead, say task or what are you doing today? Tidy up your home. You do not want to use that word anymore. Envision what you want the space to look like, then incorporate that slow living and mindfulness into these cleaning routines. It takes some time. It really takes some time getting used to. I know this firsthand. It took me a while to get used to it. I really did not ditch all the toxic chemicals in my home, and it took me almost 3 to 6 months. I can't remember, but it takes a while. So craft your own methods. Do this how you want to do it. Take the tips as you see fit, and then remember that less is more. Less cleaning products under the cabinets will help you to clean better, clean faster. Closet and laundry goals. Go more minimal over the years to create a healthier lifestyle around clothing, what you need versus what you want and don't wear. So, if you've been hoarding clothes or items, purses, handbags, all that jazz, a lot of jewelry that you don't want to wear, over time, you're going to start decluttering those, clearing them out, donating them, giving them away. Get rid of all the stuff that is dingy, nasty, that you're not representing anymore. So, for me, a minimalist closet idea really took place when I was constantly looking at my old work clothes and I didn't want to wear them anymore. I didn't even want to save them for a new day. A lot of them were too tight on me. The jeans that you save that you're never going to fit into anymore. I don't know why we save them. It's just really hard to let certain things go. But when you start adopting that minimalist mindset, you're going to really want to declutter and purge all those clothings. Those items that you really don't care for anymore. You may get into the habit of wanting to reinvent yourself, do a new style. Those things are all things that happened for me. Getting new hangers, I went through so many different hangers. I cannot even tell you. The cheap hangers, the velvet hangers, I thought that things were going to work. They didn't end up working. So I ended up getting rid of a lot of them and then going completely with the wood hangers. So the Bright Room Target brand really came out with these beautiful lines of hangers, closet organizers, and stuff like that, even for your jewelry. So it's a really beautiful thing to get into a new style. That worked for me, just using all the same hangers. I wanted my closet to look very aesthetically pleasing, and a garment rack helped with that. So I would take the garment rack and I would put all the clothes on the garment rack that I wanted. So I pulled everything from my closet onto the garment rack that I wanted to keep. And I organized it by color or season. And that's when I kept going more and more minimal with my wardrobe. And so it's really a powerful thing to just pull. Instead of pulling all of the clothes out of your closet, I don't recommend doing this. I never ever recommend it. It causes a lot of overwhelm. A lot of people go into their closet, pull it all out, and start over again. That never works. Do not pull all of your clothing out of the closet and pile it onto your bed. It is a big no-no. It causes more overwhelm and stress and anxiety. And you get to that point where you're like, what the heck am I doing with all of this? And how do I organize it? And then you end up putting things back that you really mean to get rid of. So avoid that at all costs. Pull the items that you want to keep from the closet one by one and put them on the clothing rack. Okay, so Target has a beautiful line of different clothing racks. You can just go get one, or you can look in the thrift stores, grab a clothing rack somewhere, grab something. If you don't have a clothing rack, you can put those on um, your shower rack. So go into the bathroom and just use that to put the clothing pieces that you want to keep on that shower rack in the bathroom for now. Then start pulling the things that you know you don't want. Get rid of them one by one. Get rid of them every single day for the next 30 days. You're going to continuously do this throughout the year. And then when you're doing laundry, you want to pull the things that you don't want. If you standing at the laundry, separate all of your clothing. This really takes some time if you're not used to organizing your clothing and you're just used to stuffing all the clothes inside the washer. You don't want to do that. You want to separate the clothing and really think about keeping clothing that lasts. You want to opt for pieces of clothing that last a long time. You want your clothing to be as healthy as you are. So think of it like that and organize. I separate mine. I don't have a lot of people living in my home, so I can separate mine on the floor. I put the towels in one area, separate all of those. I never mix my towels and clothes. It ruins the clothes. You can put your clothing inside the washer and start doing small loads. Okay, don't think that you have to clean everybody in the family's house all together. I don't like to do that because it ruins the clothes, and you want to start going a little bit more minimal, then that's going to teach you how to do that. So put your clothing inside the washer, the colors, separate by fabrics too. So if it's a delicate item, you want to make sure that you're washing that separate. Sometimes I only wash one or two items in the washer because it's so delicate. I can't get to the dry cleaners every single time, so I need to wash that by itself. So don't be afraid to wash on small loads. Okay. Most washers now have that sensor where it fills up only the water that you need. So if you're thinking, it's wasting water, it's really not. You're really saving water by doing this. And then you're really saving time because when you put your items in separate from everybody else's in the family, you are going to put those in the dryer and then you're going to take them out and it might be only 5 items in there. And then it's easier to put away. So don't get into the habit of thinking all the negative things about doing small loads of laundry. Think about the benefits of it. Okay. The benefits are that you are going to do them faster. It's going to help you be more mindful with your journey that you're headed for. And you are going to think about all of the things that are going to get rid of because you don't want anymore. So you're really looking at those 5 pieces of items that you're getting ready to put in the washer and you're asking yourself, do I really want this? Am I going to wear this again? Does it fit me good? Do I look good in it? So ask yourself those questions. And if it's good, put it in the washer. The more and more that you get into the habit of doing these really big closet purges, for me, I started really purging all the polyester and, the rayon and the nylon that I wondered why my skin was not healing. I wondered why my skin was having a reaction to things. And the more I went no tox, the more I noticed that there was still a lot of toxins in my home. And that's, in the closet space. So I had no idea that I had to look at every single tag, but I knew that when I was buying a new shirt or a new pair of pants, that I wanted that organic feeling. And I could easily see that they were made from linens, but I never paid attention to the tags until just recently. So as you get into this minimalist mindset and game, you are going to figure out what styles you want, figure out what's best for you and healthy for you. And I'm not saying go through and just toss all your polyester clothing because that is probably about 99% of your wardrobe is that. It was mine, but I ended up pulling all of that when I got to that moment and purged it all and then started just keeping, the minimal things that I needed. And that meant something to me. On your journey, you may find that, you don't want any polyester pieces in your clothing wardrobe anymore, and you don't want your kids wearing them. Maybe your infant baby has been wearing them and you don't want them to. You want to go organic cotton and you want to really be mindful about that. So you will start doing that as you do your closet and your laundry. And I am telling you, when you get to that point where you have gotten rid of all the clothing that you don't want, you are going to feel a big sense of relief. With the laundry habits and the floor cleaning habits, those two alone are going to remove so much stress and overwhelm in your life. It is an amazing feeling. Do what works for you. Like I said, this is all yours to create. Okay. Practice what you like. Keep the products out to get used to them. In the beginning, I just kept out the bowl of baking soda and I started just taking my hands and dumping it into the sink just to get used to it. That's what taught me how to get used to it. Craft the habit. Like I said, this is all yours to create. You could do it however you want to do it. None of the tips might work for you, but learn how to do them in your own way. Constantly think about what you want to create and teach yourself. Throughout the process, you'll learn more about who you are, what your home will, look like give yourself a goal of 6 months. It could be 3 to 6 months, or it could be a year. Give yourself that goal and just constantly be thinking about what you want that space to look and feel like. Okay. Comment below if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section and let us know how you're doing, where you're at in this toxic free journey. Are you struggling still with your cleaning routines? What is overwhelming you? Let us know. Then create that mood board. Okay. So mood boards and vision boards really work powerfully. And for this lesson, you are going to be just creating that mood board surrounded by your house, how you want to feel, your clothing. What do you want to wear? For me, I like hats. I like to keep my hats. I like to keep a few certain pairs of jeans that are organic and, maybe a few pairs of shoes, So I got to the point where I just really wanted to go super, super minimal with my closet. You don't have to. You don't have to do the numbers game. Sometimes it helps. Like I went from 10 items, then I went to 5 items per category. So I went from say maybe 10 pairs of jeans to 5 pairs of jeans. And that was my goal, to keep going down. You don't have to use the numbers game. It works for some people and sometimes it doesn't. For me, I just did that in the beginning. And then as you get more and more minimal, it's not about, how many pieces of items you have in your clothing wardrobe. It's about what you like, what you wear, what can be versatile, what can you use all the time. The hats, I like to wear them all the time. So, a certain pair of shoes that you can wear throughout the week, more often than the heels. Like I had to get rid of all my heels because my ankles and my legs don't like heels anymore. So as you grow into this new person, you're going to find new styles and new things and new trends that you like. So put that vision board together. What do you want to be wearing throughout the week? How does it make you feel? What do you want to be cleaning with? For instance, in this photo, that's a scrubby brush that I would recommend. Sometimes those are really hard to clean with at first if you don't, if you're not used to cleaning with something like that. But those don't harbor as much bacteria as the typical household sponge. I used to think that I needed 5 different bottles so that I can mix my own concoctions. Now I have 1 or 2. So put a photo up there of what you want your living room space to look like, your bedroom space, your kitchen. Get into the habit of doing a mood board for just what you're working on. So if you're going towards that less is more cleaning and that minimalist vibe, like I said, you don't have to become a full-blown minimalist, and minimalism is not about losing all the stuff that you love or just having 5 items in your drawer. It's about keeping the stuff that you really, really enjoy and using it. Not just keeping it in the drawer for 10 years and never using it. It's about just really what it makes you feel like. So create those mood boards and then let's schedule, excuse me, a walkthrough session. You have a complimentary walkthrough session if you need it. All you have to do is do a FaceTime with me and we will walk through the space that you're working on. So say you need some guidance and help, maybe I can give you some tips and we can walk through whatever you're working on.